Great. Hey, Masu. And heel up and down. And down. Head side to side. Hey, ear to shoulder. Circles. And the other way. Hey, come forward. And circles going back. Hey, showman. Yokomen. Hey, waves. Hey, side to side. Hey, Samaki. Hand tight. And hook. Kenchi. Yoko. Hey, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. In, hey, in front, down. Hey, knees front and back. Circles, one way. And circles the other way. Hey. Down, up, up, down. Up on the toes. Down. き、こ、き、こ、3、9、こ。And your hips. Go. Lowering. 8, one side. Go. And the other side. Hips up. Hips down. Hips up. Hips down. Hips up. And your spine up. Shoulders back. Circles. And side to side. Lower. Bench. Those up. Bench. Hands in front. Change. So. So. Right. Down. Right. And going forward. So. And back. Forward. Back. Forward. Hips up. Hips down. Hips up. Hips down. Hips up. Hips down. And back. One side. The other side. 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 One side. Yes. Hey, side to side. Breathing in. Up. In. Out. One more. In. Out. Hey, 体を。そう。いいです。はい。そう。 Hey, both sides. And back. Hey. Whoa. Peace. Hey. Hey, standing up, please. Funakogi, Hidari Hanmi no Kamae. So please remember a few things that are important in Funakogi that remind us of the basic position of our Hanmi in general practice. Number one, of course, is the idea of one foot in front of the other. Careful to not. Sometimes people make too narrow lines, sometimes even to the extreme of sometimes crossing lines. So that never happens, right? So it's not as wide as another martial arts stance says, which is, although they have one foot forward and one backwards, they are almost a square. So it's not as wide as that, but definitely is not as narrow as one foot behind the other one, almost in kind of a line. Give yourself a comfortable position where you can, be mobile and just respect still that. Make sure that it's not too wide, but also that it's mostly that it's not too narrow. Aikido people tends to make them too narrow. So, a little bit, maybe one, sometimes people say it's heels to heel touching, maybe a little bit more than heel to heel touching, just moving backwards. So that's number one. Number two, make sure that your weight is forward. Okay, so especially in Funakogi, we're going to transfer weight from forward to backwards, but start with weight forward, hips turning inside. Okay, and then this was the important thing too during, remember, it's Moreno Sensei's basic kamae. It's some schools present hands somewhere outside or whatever. Sensei is very specific that your hands must be on your sides, active, not completely relaxed and sloppy, active, but on the sides of the body. And then from that position, then either raise up, most commonly, to parry most strikes or things like that, or they come from your heart and then they come out, to do any of the basic grips, that sometimes practice. But in principle, they start on the sides at the level of your legs. So for Funakogi, the only thing is you bring those hands up to the level of your hips, palms down, making a small fist, and then from there we will begin our action of Funakogi. Hey, e, ho, 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 e, ho. Out. Breathing in. Again, breathe in. Down. One more time, breathe in. Down. So, hey, like, hand Minokamai, fix your hips, fix your posture, fix your hands, and in front. Yi, yi, sa, 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 yi, sa. Oh, cool. Breathe in again. Hey, one more. Hey, okay. So, before we go with the things that we've been practicing um this week, okay, the ideas that we're practicing this week, I'm just going to very quickly go through uh the other thing that we launched this week at the dojo was or is the strength and conditioning program that we developed with Coach James Valentine. So if you are a member of the dojo or a friend or a visitor, if you are in any of our email lists, you receive an email with some information about it. Otherwise, you can just visit our website, and on the website there is a couple of options for people who wants to access our member site. The member site contains a number of things, contains the most up-to-date recording, for example, of these sessions, which are not on social media. It contains blog, it contains our Sangan Academy, it contains specific videos, and now contains the instructions for the strength and conditioning program. So hopefully, again, it's very important to try to maintain an ethos of daily training. Now, daily training takes many shapes and forms. Sometimes we think that daily training is to daily go to the dojo, and that's great. If that's possible, that's why the dojo has classes from Monday to Saturday, basically every day. So a person could come every day to train on the mat. But sometimes that's not possible. Having said that, that doesn't mean that our commitment to training and to our development of our own path stops. So that's why there is all of these resources that hopefully you can access and continue having that mindset and those resources to support you in that daily training, or daily commitment to train, something like that. So very quickly, when you go into the app, which is something that you will kind of have in there, there's a lot of things in there. One good idea on the app is to first start by watching all the videos that basically are in the on-demand part of the app. Those videos explain how the app works and explain how the program works. They're very short videos, but if you watch them, it's a little bit like reading emails. If you read emails, you save yourself a lot of trouble later on when you do not read your emails. So yeah, so watching the videos, which is a few minutes, it just saves you a lot of headaches later on of, oh, how do I find this and where is that and things like that. So anyway, so there's a few videos in there in the on-demand section, which is good to watch. I think there's only one, two, three, four, and one that explains what the app is. So anyway, look at the videos first so you know what you're doing, and then you will learn to navigate your way around it. So basically the sessions, the strength and conditioning sessions are very well paced. I think I've been doing them already. I've been testing it for a few weeks now. Um, Remember, you can make your sessions longer depending on the number of sets you add to things. So in this case, for example, this basic program, the sessions contain a very quick warm-up and a quick word about the warm-up. The warm-up that is in there is a short version of the warm-up that we do in Aikido. Having said that, it's always very important that you know the specific needs of your body and that you perform the exercises and the warm-up that is more appropriate for your own personal condition. You may have a knee condition that requires more work on your knees or warming up your quadriceps. You may have a lower back condition that requires you more time warming up and doing mobility on that. You may have a shoulder condition, etc. So obviously no warm-up will be able to cover all your needs. So be very responsible and aware of the needs of your own body and do warm-up here or in the dojo that specifically tackles those needs. Okay, so once you have done that, the program has then a small section on mobility exercises, and then two circuits of strength exercises, and each circuit is divided in two sets. So you have sections, mobility and strength. The strength is divided in two circuits with two different sets of exercises, and the circuits have two sets each. All of that takes me around, a little bit less than half an hour, or around half an hour. Now, it's very short. Obviously, the way to make it longer is to add an extra set in any of the circuits. If you do, instead of doing 2 sets, you do 3 sets or 4 sets. Well, that's great. And that's really 4 sets is what a usual um, um, training session has. So that means that training session, if you go to the gym, you're usually there for an hour. And unless you're checking your phone for that whole hour, you are possibly doing 4 sets of things, if you are actually doing stuff. So anyway, so this program has 2 sets, which is very reasonable in terms of time. You just add another one if you want to. The premise is very simple. It has exercises that are important for our Aikido training after James having observed and worked with many of our Aikido students before, but also follows a basic pattern of lower body, core, upper body. So that's the basic kind of pattern. And then that lower body, core, upper body is a bit fitted more for the needs of Aikido. Possibly there is more lower body and core than upper body in it. So anyway, if you want to have big arms, just add a few sets of curls or something. So it doesn't really matter. All right, so let's do, for example, I mean, that's kind of at the beginning of the page. I know this is very blurry, so but partially to entice you to actually go and join the app, join the program, and do it. I'm just going to review what I did yesterday, and maybe let's just go this morning through the mobility exercises that I had yesterday. The exercise has like a video. If you're not familiar, some exercises you may be familiar with, and that's fine. It's good to check your form always. So there's always videos on the exercises. If you don't know the exercises, that takes a little bit of time because each video is about 20 seconds, 30 seconds. So if you are looking at it and studying it before doing your exercise, that's going to take a bit of time. But eventually you become a bit familiar with the movements, and that will help. Okay, so let's do the mobility routine that I had yesterday, for example. And we'll see how you go with that. So one thing that the program has is that it's mostly body weight exercises, but there's several options to change your exercise from body weight to using bands or to use basic home gym equipment like a dumbbell or a kettlebell or something like that. So there's a few options in there between body weight, bands, and basic weights. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with bands, okay? Because yes, they are very portable. Yes, they are great to use, and they are good to have around. But it's very easy for them to kind of get out of place, and hit something. So be very careful and mindful of how you use always bands, especially. And I asked this to James. I asked him to definitely put alternatives to any band exercise that need the band anchored to a spot where you need to do any form of exercise, because people are really bad at anchoring bands. We think that we can anchor them to the most stupid places. So no, you cannot anchor the band to your chair or to the base of your table or something like that, because most likely it's going to come off. So it's just, so you need a very solid, unmovable, piece of wall or something to anchor your band. So anyway, what I'm saying is be very careful with the use of bands. If you don't feel comfortable, then just change it for the option that will be there in terms of body weight or use of basic kettlebell or dumbbell exercise. So, okay, the first exercise that we had yesterday for mobility is one that everybody is familiar with. It was your basic cat-cow. So the idea was, you go up for a cat and using your pelvic, going up for a cow, cat, cow, and it allows you to kind of put how many repetitions you want to. So I think I did about 10, 8, 9, 9, 10. So the exercise that I actually had, the version that I had yesterday on my routine was with a band. So the idea was to put a band around your hip waist area and then basically perform the same exercise with a band. So the exercise that I had yesterday included the use of a resistance band to create a little bit of more pressure on the cat-cow kind of exercise. So that was exercise number one, the mobility. Exercise number two says there was a four-way hip opener. So four-way hip openers, basically you are on your knees. Way number one, put your leg forward and you push in. Okay. Second way, you put your ankle down and you sit. Third way, you open to 90 degrees and you open back. And way four, you cross your leg in. Sometimes it's called a pigeon pose. You cross your leg in, you extend your back leg, and you just try to stretch forward. Oh. And then you change sides. Four-way hip opener. Going forward. Going back. Going to the side. And crossing your leg. Stretching back and sitting. So, one more time. We'll do the side. Forward. Back. Side. Crossing. And sitting. One more. Forward. Back. Outside. Crossing. And sitting. Okay. So, and again, however many repetitions you want to do. The next one was band dislocates. So basically, band dislocates. If you do not have a band, it's basically for the mobility of your shoulders. Any of the exercises that we do at the beginning of the basic warm-up helps for that. But if you have a band, basically your band dislocates. It's just grabbing your band and then pulling backwards, trying to keep tension on the band, pulling backwards into band dislocates. As I say, if you don't have a band at the moment, you just basically, can focus on the use of your shoulders and then your upper back in order to open up those shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, I was not in this exercise, but sometimes, I just added it because it's fine, but sometimes you can do band dislocates in a diagonal form. So now your opening goes in that direction. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So for example, those band dislocates, specifically those ones, this week we'll be working on tenchinage. And not long ago, a person in Aikido did a tenchinage, open up here, the shoulder didn't hold enough, and when he was going to do the throw, this shoulder tore. Anyway, you get me, my point. That it was a tear on the shoulder. So he went up here, he was going to perform the tenchinage, the shoulder health was not good, there was too much pressure, and there was a tear on the shoulder. So anyway, exercises such as this, help us to develop some level of mobility and some level of strengthening that reduces, it will never completely remove entirely, but can reduce the possibility of things like that. So anyway, shoulder dislocates, several sets of them, as part of the mobility. And the next one was the world greatest stretch, which is, as you know, one knee forward, go back, go down, engage your glute, leg closer to the leg goes up, then comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, down, and one more. Up, down. Okay. The good thing is that you have actual people who knows how to do this properly doing the video. So maybe not necessarily copy my form, but watch the videos what you have here. So leg inside, hand inside, leg back, lower, engage your glute, and up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. One more, up, down, and relax. All right. Again, few repetitions on that. And the last one from the mobility exercise was alternating split stance to launch pogos. So alternating split stance, launch pogo. So that basically means, the pogo, pogo jumps. It's basically jumps that we do. And you have alternating with a launch. You basically want to do the same. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to launch. 1, 2, 3. Launch. And then you're going to launch, with control and at a level that you feel that is comfortable for you. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 6. 1, 2, 3, 7. 1, 2, 3, 8. 1, 2, 3, 9. 1, 2, 3, 10. Change. 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 6. 1, 2, 3, 7. 1, 2, 3, 8. 1, 2, 3, 9. 1, 2, 3, 10. And stop. All right. So, for example, that was the 5 exercises of the mobility sequence that I had yesterday. I usually do my 2 to 3 sessions of this, which is how the program is created when we don't have morning classes, which is Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Something like that. That's obviously up to you. How do you fit that? You can accommodate your calendar and your schedule to do it, and so on and so on. So that was the mobility set. For example, the circuit set had body weight split jumps. So basically split jumps like a squat, but with a little bit of with just your body weight with a jump. Body weight 1.25 squat. That was a killer. That was basically just a simple squat, 1, but then come up a quarter, down again and up. And that was body weight. And I, for example, added a dumbbell for a bit of weight. Explosive split stance with a band row, just basically band rowing, but in a bit of explosive motion. I used, again, a dumbbell because I didn't want to use the band. So instead of using explosive rows with the band, I did explosive rows with a dumbbell. And side plank rotations, which are really good for your core. So that was circuit 1. And then circuit 2 of yesterday was a band standing shoulder press. So using the band, shoulder presses. Again, I didn't use a band because I have my dumbbells. So I did shoulder presses with my dumbbells. Alternating cross-body V-up. That's basically, again, for the core. That is a little bit like a dead bug, but with your legs open and crossing side to side. And the last one was a body weight hip thrust. So just basic hip thrusts that you can also use bands if you have one. So anyways, some of those, you may be familiar with some of those exercises, you may not be familiar. obviously every week the exercises, every session the exercises change, so it's not the same exercises. So I don't know, the exercises of Sunday will be different, but it's not the same. It's not like it's not like these are the exercises of the program. This was just the exercises of yesterday. So Sunday the exercises will be different, but still targeting similar muscle groups in that order with a similar purpose of helping our Aikido practice. So give it a go, okay? And hopefully something that you will find useful to maintain your Aikido practice. All right, so we have a lot of time. So basically, the other thing that we've been looking at this week has been the exercises that Moreno Sensei did with Tenchinage. So, and we've been mostly focusing on the 3 ways of motion that Sensei demonstrated. So first one is the motion of entering, okay, which is something obvious. The second one is the motion of turning, okay, yes. Okay. And the last one is the motion of absorbing, okay. So possibly the absorbing one is the one that gives us usually the most grief. Okay, so let's just, for a few minutes that we have left, let's just focus on that today. So remember, stepping back is not absorbing. Stepping back is just making distance. Stepping back and then absorbing someone's body, someone's energy is the important part. So do practice back, step back, absorb. The other side, step back, absorb. What? Step back, absorb. Inside, step back, absorb. Inside, step back, absorb. Inside, step back, absorb. A couple more. Step back, absorb. Last one, step back, absorb. Okay, so it's very important that to have that feeling of bringing your hip in, lowering your leg, your hips. Okay, bringing your leg in. So now that action can obviously be, in this case, we were doing it quite linear. The way that Sensei did it during the practice was a little bit circular. Okay, so instead of keeping it linear, this time just turn around in a little bit of a circle, but still stepping back, still focusing on the absorption. So step forward, back, and absorb. Step forward, back, and absorb. Step forward, back, and absorb. Step forward, back, absorb. Step forward, back, absorb. Forward, back, absorb. Forward, back, absorb. Forward, back, absorb. So the Tenchinage that he did, for example, we presented his 2 hands. He stepped forward, back, absorb. I came in, and then the Tenchinage from there. Yes, here, he stepped forward, up, back, he absorb, then up, and down. Remember, a very important thing for Tenchinage is to separate, hence your band dislocates. So you have to, make sure that your shoulders are in a good health. Okay, lowering the front hand. Second hand is pretty straightforward going up, but the most important thing is kusushi, kusushi, kusushi. This hand is always goes to sleep. We all do it. We're all lazy with that hand. We just want the throw. We forget to harmonize the kusushi, which happens by the hand lowering, with the throw, which happens by the hand going. Okay. Just to finish a little bit, remember when we practice Ushiro Ryo Tekubidori, when the person comes from the front and then goes behind us, there's a similar intention of absorbing the person. We attack the attack, we slide back, we absorb, we move forward, and then we move forward. We attack the attack, we slide back, and we absorb. We move forward, and we move forward. So the absorption motion is happens quite a lot in training. In the Ushiro Ryo Tekubidori, it happens a lot. So attack the attack, slide back, absorb, slide forward, step forward. Attack the attack, slide back, absorb, step forward, step forward. Attack the attack, slide back, absorb, slide forward, step forward. Attack the attack, slide back, absorb, step forward. Tag the attack, slide back, absorb, slide. Tag the attack, Slide back. Go. All right, let's just finish up with kokyu ho. Okay, ish and ko. Ik, ko, e, ho, ish, ko, ko, ah, ko, mo, ko, one, ko, hey, chop. So we took a bit of time today with the introduction to the strength and conditioning program, but I think it's an important tool. It's a very important tool for everyone to consider because, as James always says, he always sees our members after there has been an accident, and then the members want to come and find some, reassurance and recovery with him, which is great. And our members have been very successful at recovering from a whole array of injuries over the years. But he says some of those injuries or the severity of those injuries can be minimized or reduced by having an active program such as this that's hopefully is going to look after our body and reduce as much as possible the severity of an event. That's the intention. So hopefully you can use it. Let's finish up. Great. Hey, arigato gozaimashita.